And so it's not as much as adding it and mutating it as using other genetic material as a song to sing or to code junk DNA and to have what is latent flower. Did you follow that?
Yeah.
Copy? Yes?
This is Roger.
Yes, Roger.
There is a simpleton version of that has been a series on TV.
Well, they do reveal many things on TV. You know?
Yes, I haven't really watched it, but I think it's called, isn't it The Incredibles? It's a pattern of what you're saying that they're exposing.
In a very simple level, yes.
Well, there are a lot of variations of that in the superhero realm of stories, comic books, and now coming out in movies. Like the X-Men is probably one of the best examples of that, because every one of them is a genetic mutation, and they can each do something different. One of them can just turn into smoke, and one of them can heal no matter what. You instantly heal his body, and so they can do things. One can instantly freeze something. One can instantly heat something.
Well, one
of them can suck other one's powers if they touch them. And so,
but this is what you are describing is a Ninja Turtle version of what we are talking about. All right, we are talking about things that are quite sophisticated. And were you to meet these people, you might sense something, but they are not overt with strange abilities, and they are not necessarily mutants per se. They are activated by other DNA, and what your scientifics discovered is that if you know how to not just, we said cut and paste before, that happens, cut and paste, take this, or copy paste, how about that, copy paste, you can do that one rather than, there's cut, there's copy, but there's also to get the song of a DNA. You don't hear your scientifics talk about the song that each person's DNA sings. We know just recently, big discoveries that every person has different bacteria on their body, on their hands, and so now they can identify it's more for criminals, it's all for criminal. But behind the scenes, it is understood that just as birds and flowers sing to each other, and everything has a song that it sings, if you take certain parts of DNA or genetic material and you sing it into human junk DNA or sort of latent hanging there, they call it junk, it's just inactivated, and if it is presented in the right way, then the abilities unfold. And they are abilities of super senses, but they are not raw. They are fine-tuned. Yes, a body to heat or to cool, to adapt to instantly an environment that would be different than Earth's environment, and to adapt without any kind of equipment. Right? Mm-hmm. To be able to enter the sea.
I was just going to say, to be able to breathe underwater.
Yes, to be able to enter the sea, to be able to go into a world, and whether the chemical structure was toxic in your terms or not, these are some of the things that happened, that the people then had the ability to adapt and then could explore, or even take on the shape of the prevailing life forms. So that if one was in a mushroom forest, one could become the mushroom forest. Wow. If one was out on a planet that was all strange animals, then you could match and meet any of those animals, and the animals would recognize the ability, and they're not frightened of it. See why we said they became superhuman or wizards of sort? Yeah. But all through military, scientific, technological, black budget sort of experimentation. And this has been going on for quite a few decades, and it is all unraveled, really unraveling now. And many people have escaped, many people were lost in the experiments. And the people who were involved in this, again, handfuls, as we may put it in those terms, that have come out sentient and come out integrated, they feel it is, and they know it is their duty to explain what has been done to them. They have no victimhood. They are not blaming. They are just disclosing or sharing the levels at which reality has been explored. This will knock a lot of people out of the game. Or perhaps the revelations will come after many people have been knocked out of the game. We'll see. It can go a lot of ways.
Well, I keep getting the impression that the very ability to become the mushroom forest is also what gave them the ability to travel to the world where there is a mushroom forest. And maybe the military was attempting to give them the ability to travel.
The military, in your terms, we said that for the exchange of Earth's genetic material, you received many types of technologies. That was only one part of it. You received trips, maps, and an atlas, that is to say, of the cosmos, with all the coordinate points, or as best they could be put together by that particular group. Certainly not the entire cosmos, but enough to blow the minds of Earthlings. And then the technologies were given for every time for greater bait, every time for greater sellout, and the addiction happened, just like the people are addicted to their Farmville and their own virtual cafes. The scientifics became obsessed and addicted to getting out there and to keeping it secret, and it became more and more bizarre and stranger. In part, corporations of your world fund these things. And the owners or the CEOs of corporations, there are no owners, they just keep changing and changing and changing so that no one ever knows for too long what's going on. And the corporations and the business of your world is run in part by those from off-planet, inside the planet, on the planet, and they have an agenda to lock down your world. And there are many forces that have bailed out on these people and that have their own power now. And so it wasn't that the military just shot anywhere into space. They knew where they were going. They knew. They were told, if you want to go in these worlds, we'll show you how to get there. And no rocket ship is going to take you. And no amount of breathing apparatus or space suits is going to get you anywhere. You stand out like a duck at a tea party. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
A duck with a hat on at a tea party. How's that? By all means, remember all we said this evening. Do your very best and make us proud.